Yeah.
Alright.
I'm missing a hand.
Welcome to the podcast. Two breaths. Two breaths
This is
in
awkward.
the chair. All this stuff.
Indeed.
This dumb motherfucker over here.
That ruined me.
Just go or you're on
That
air.
guy, his name is me.
We're going right now. We're just having a laugh, man.
Talk about the stories.
Stories?
I mean, we could just
What should
chill and
we
actually
start?
talk.
Yeah, we could just talk.
I mean, we're just getting
But
started.
pretend there isn't a camera.
I wish we could turn off this high five feature. Deliver me. No.
Hey man, you're inside your chair there a bit.
I know, I don't know where to sit.
You're a fucking child.
That's rude, man.
Alright. So, funny
Too bad
story
I lost
for
my
me.
sniper.
When I was a kid, it was one time. I was riding my bike. You know, it was whenever I was in my old neighborhood. I used to ride bikes a whole lot. My favorite. I was going. There was this hill right by my house, right by it. It wasn't a steep hill whatsoever. I drove on it not that long ago because I went back to visit. It was such a small hill, but when you're a kid, that shit looks steep as fuck.
Yeah.
So I went down it on the bike, and it left me with scars up my leg for a month. So what happened was I was trying to do tricks. Because I normally do tricks, you know, they usually don't go wrong. But this one day, it did go wrong. And I don't wear protective gears, because only pussies wear protective gear, right? So I was going down this hill, and I went to stand up on my pegs, you know, just do the stand up on them, call it good. And when I went back to step on the pedals, my feet slipped. Now normally that's something you can recover from if they slip forward. My feet slipped backward. So next thing I know, I was being dragged down the hill by my bike. One leg up in the air, the other leg on the road, going all the way down. Just holding on by the handles. And then I finally turned it into the grass and crashed into the grass. And then all up my leg, completely fucked. Just didn't exist.
Very nice. Do you remember learning how to ride a bike?
I do, actually. I do remember how I learned and what type of bike it was on, because the bike was actually really fucking exotic. Like, you know the motorcycles that, like the Harley Davidson motorcycles? The ones where you actually, like, handlebars are up here?
Yeah, the chopper bikes.
I had a bicycle that looked like one, and it had, like, flames spray painted onto it and shit. My first bike.
Nice.
It wasn't a kid's bike either. It was an actual, like, grown man's bike. And I learned how to ride a bike on that whenever I was, like, 6?
I don't remember ever learning to ride a bike.
It was crazy.
Jason
I
brought
couldn't
his
even
bike
get on
over
it.
and we just rode it in the backyard.
Yeah, no, that's how I learned. Nobody taught me. They just said, jump on it and start pedaling, and I did. And
I don't remember ever
I did it.
having issues with it either. Like, I just remember driving down the thing and coming back up.
I'm in the chair now.
You shrunk a little.
I'm
Oh,
fine,
are you
but
flying?
going forward.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm making it look like I'm actually resting in a chair.
I'm just using my knees.
But yeah, that was what I learned to ride a bike on. It was fucking light. It looked sick though. Too bad it's gone. Too bad it broke. The chain, unreplaceable. Came off, never went back on. I think it's because
Sounds
the
about right.
part that chain goes, little spinny thing, it itself broke off.
Nice.
No fix. It snapped and we were just like, oh well, new bike time.
Sounds
You had
about
any
right.
creepy stories when you were a kid? Whenever, not like creepy, like, oh, you had ghosts in your house, but like, there was that one neighbor you were afraid of?
Like I was talking about a while ago, it was my house that we had a backyard, and then there was a neighbor's house, and it had a little shed. But it wasn't a shed, it looked like a normal, it was like a shed, but it was made out of concrete. And there was this window that was shattered always. Then you look inside of it, and it's just a really long, dark hallway like you would see in literally any horror game, right? And it's got flickering lights. It was ridiculous. Literally completely from a horror game. And you look all the way down, and there's a chair. And it was just covered in red. Who knows what the red was? Who knows why the heck that thing was there? But that's probably the scariest thing. I don't even know who my neighbors were back then.
Creepy thing from when I was a kid. So we had a registered sex offender in our neighborhood. It was a big neighborhood, so I mean, it happened. It happened.
Yeah.
They weren't ever actually a problem. Like, they never actually caused any problems. But just the thought of us kids knowing we had one in there, you know, gave us a little startle.
Yeah, it's like
oh,
it's kind of wacky.
there's this dude who might kidnap us. Oh no. So,
what are you gonna do?
One night, me and my group of friends in that neighborhood, we were all hanging out, you know, in my friend's garage. It was nighttime. We were all hanging out. And we swear this car was following him. Never started going down the road. The car, so here's how it goes. My friend house is here. Here's the hill. My house is right across, so we're right across from each other. We're hanging out at this one, a hill, and then my other friend's house is here. Okay, so here, up the hill, my house, friend's house, and then in the middle of this hill, there's a roundabout on this side, like a dirt roundabout. So from this friend's house, we started walking down to my other friend's house, because that's where we were staying the night. And we swear, this car was coming down, and so we went around the roundabout to avoid it. Car followed us around the roundabout. But it didn't stop at the house there. As soon as we got off, it kept going with us. We swear we were following it. So as soon as we saw that, we booked it to my friend's house, and some of us were riding bikes. So we left. So we're at our friend's house. We ran there and inside. We left our bikes over here at like this little field thing by the hill, the bottom of the hill. Because we were like, nah, fuck it. We don't have time to put it up. We're trying to get inside.
Yeah, we're out of here. This ain't cool.
So, got in, never saw the car again, like ever. Like throughout the rest of the time I lived there, never saw that car again. And the next morning, when we woke up, our bikes were not on the hill anymore. They were in like the little bike storage area of our friend's house that we were living in.
Oh boy.
But the parents my friend's parents woke up whenever we did. They actually woke up after we did. So when we get out there and saw that, we were like, who the fuck put it there? And we honestly thought the person that chased us in that car put the bikes up for us. They probably realized they scared the shit out of us. And we're like, okay, you know what? I'll put that...
Let's at least make sure these
it
aren't
up.
stolen.
Go on my way. Yeah, so never saw that car again, but they put up our bikes for us. And we were like, what the heck? And that's the end of that one. Like, we just didn't know what went on.
Yeah.
Also, that night we were trying to find Justin Bieber's real phone number. You can tell how that went.
Oh boy.
There were girls.
How many times have me, Ryan, or Chase called you while we were all at my house?
Yeah, it's happened every now and then. And then Chase just starts moaning.
It's always very interesting. It's never my idea either. They're just like, let's call some people. I'm like, why not?
But do you have any stories like that, like the one I just shared from one of you lived places?
Well, I mean, obviously around here there's a lot of drug addicts and all that, right?
Yeah.
There's this white truck that I watched go back and forth for about
That happens a lot.
45
Isn't it weird
minutes.
that it's always a white truck, too?
Yeah. You know what the worst part is? Whenever they pull into the driveway for the boat.
Did they try and steal the boat?
Yes.
Did they steal the boat?
No. It wasn't locked. They were just
They
retarded.
tried to steal your boat. Well, now you know why they were going around. They tried to
Man, we
steal
see
your boat. That's great.
there's
That's
some
good.
crazy people around here. It's ridiculous.
My,
There's a lot of
my-
stories like
so,
that.
Another story, all the stuff that happened in my childhood happened from my own neighborhood. As soon as I moved into the house I currently live in, which was in 5th grade to now, shit just
Yeah.
stopped happening because now I'm in the countryside and my old neighborhood was an actual neighborhood, so stuff would happen.
Yeah. Well, I live in the middle of nowhere, and there's all sorts of crazy stuff still.
Really, really crazy stuff. The person that lived across from me, the friend, found out after I left, his house burned down.
Nice.
I went to visit again. The house, nothing was there. That lot was completely empty, and I was like, "Wow, shit happens."
Man, this man got his entire house nuked. What the heck happened here?
Yeah, it didn't exist. It looked like someone airstrike, like fucking Saudi Arabia got airstrike. That there was his house, man. It was crazy. So I was just like,
Just
wow.
God.
And then I went on my way because I was like, well, that guy was a dick anyway, so.
Nice.
Can't really say I just felt too bad. I hung
Whenever
out
I
with
used
them
to live in
because
Joplin,
I'm
I had one friend that I can remember, and his name was Tristan.
kind of
We
sad.
used to go to his house all the time, and we'd do literally everything together. It was wacky. And he had multiple pets. He had a dog that was missing 2 legs. He had a mouse that was black and white. And it's crazy how many times that he let that mouse thing escape, you know? It'd just be running around the house, everybody screaming, "Catch it, catch it, catch it!" And we always went into his room where he had a chair, a couple chairs, his bed and all that. And then he had an Xbox 360. I think this is the first time I ever played a first-person shooter. It was at his house to play Halo. And we just run around, mess around in Halo and all that. It was a lot of fun. I think that's the first time I ever played a first-person shooter.
So, funny story. When I was in middle school-ish, I think like 7th and 8th grade. Yeah, 7th and 8th grade. Had this science teacher, coolest teacher I ever knew. Honestly, he's the only teacher I ever like genuinely loved. Not like loved, like I wanted to date him. The fucking teacher, and I was
Obviously, yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But like, Quatana loved that teacher to death. He was my favorite. He's the only teacher who is actually a good teacher, in my opinion, that I've experienced. He had a pet snake, though. 6 times that snake got out of its cage.
That'd be
You
such
know
a
where
good
I'm going.
time, though.
That's already. Right, let's go. Oh, people's reactions. And I'm pretty sure he did it intentionally too each time because he always.
I mean, it's a good time, man. Why not?
At the end of the day, he would always have the snake back in his cage.
Yeah.
So I honestly think he didn't actually like lose the snake. He just hid it in his drawer or something.
Hey, man.
But yeah,
You can imagine how funny that would be, though. As soon as somebody realized,
two
hey,
favorite
where's the
teachers.
snake dead?
2 favorite teachers. You know my second favorite teacher, actually. You probably don't remember because it's been a while since I told you, but you know personally who my second favorite teacher is. Mr. Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's...
Because he introduced me to Dark Souls and Bloodborne and all that. And you know
Same.
how much I love those games. He introduced
Same.
me to them.
You know,
He was also a great teacher.
I was doing research in his class because we had to do a research project. And I ended up doing cystic fibrosis, which is obviously what I have, right? And I remember looking it up, and they had all these questions that you were supposed to look up about it. Like, the main one that I remember is the lifespan. That's whenever I first figured out about that, right? And then I just looked at it and I thought, man, that's like half over already.
Yeah,
You
damn.
know?
That shit hurts.
But I never did that assignment, but he gave me 100 on it. Anyway, he didn't.
Yeah, didn't he say something like, "Oh man, just don't fucking worry about it"? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's
It's
really,
wacky when you learn that.
He's not a teacher. He's a bro.
Yeah.
I run into him every now and then at conventions after once he got to high school.
That's where I got the hot
I mean,
glue
it
gun
would-
scar
yeah.
from.
Yeah, like I'd go to a convention and him, because his wife is a cosplayer, like she's a famous cosplayer.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'd go to conventions and stuff around the area, and he'd always be there with his wife. And I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" But yeah, it's always nice to reconnect with him because, like, I know I have a good chance of running into him. The other teacher I love, I don't think I'll ever see ever again after this. But with Mr. Mitchell, I had that chance. I don't think I'll see him either because conventions don't have right now.
Right.
Due to faggot. But sorry, we're live. I'm gay, guys. I can say it. I'm not even joking.
Your mic is lagging.
Who, mine?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's getting close to the internet reset.
yeah, reset. Well, isn't it like 10 hours? What time is it?
It's 9:45.
Yeah, how is it gonna be? How is it gonna be reset time at this time?
It does it every now and then. I mean, it's not
I'm sure
always
it'll
12.
I'm sure it'll work out.
It'll fix itself in a second.
Yeah, fix itself out. But yeah. What else? Any other stories you got? You got some more there?
I'd have to think.
I'm gonna take a shot. So you said.
Here we go again.
Hey, man.
You are zooming across the room.
You do like that?
Stop giving me high fives.
Never.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna finish this. Oh, I'm actually almost finished with this bottle. Hell yeah! I never thought I'd finish it. This is a. How much is this? This is a.
Where did my phone go?
50 milliliter bottle. Don't know how much that is. I mean, it's 750 milliliters, obviously. It's caramel flavored, okay? Makes it better.
Nice.
Fragrance, not together. Nobody knows that.
Yeah, I'm a chair. I'm laying down now.
Lie up. Make yourself look normal. Yep.
I don't know where I am.
There you go. You're good. I know. Yeah, you're good now.
Good enough, at least.
Oh,
Looks
let's
like
see.
I'm not too far back.
Trying to think of something else. We got plenty of stories. I just don't know where I want to pull one from.
Right?
We got pretty average lives, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think yours has been too bad.
Yep.
Other than, but that's a separate issue.
Yeah.
I think this is the part where we run out of things, ideas.
It looks like he's falling
Director.
asleep. His eyes were closed.
What?
Director. What?
Give us something to talk about.
Yeah, give us
You
a
have
subject.
many stories to talk about.
Give me a subject.
Yeah,
and I
but
could
stories
probably
we've
make a
told
story out of
to us three.
Yeah, but there's also other people watching. They haven't heard it.
Give me a subject.
But it's still, we're telling it to each other. We're not even really paying attention to that.
Okay,
people
ghost
are-
stories.
There.
Do those stories.
Those stories?
Yeah.
Those stories? Okay. I guess you can repeat some of yours.
think there's any that I haven't told that I can remember.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you might as well just read some of your stories.
I haven't heard other Brett's stories, so.
Other Brett's...
I have one.
He's talking about the paralysis thing.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I'll tell you my three. I told this Brett over here. Because I only really have three ghost stories. That was my quotation marks, by the way. That I can
Very nice.
really tell. So,
I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. One time.
Do you have a... Can you do that? Yeah, you can. I was gonna say, you're just...
Okay, so one time I had a lot of sleep paralysis when I was a kid. It would happen a lot. Doesn't happen as much now, thankfully, because I'm not a little bitch scared of the dark anymore. It used to be hella though. I still kind of am, but then I'm just like, you know what? No, there's nothing gonna make me suck it up. I'm like, okay. But when I had sleep paralysis, usually it was just things like, or like one reason I never sleep with any doors open is because when I had sleep paralysis, it usually always occurred whenever I had a door open. And so someone would always be in that door and come out of it, and I'd be like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. So from now, no matter what, I sleep with doors closed. Can't deal with it. Can't deal with them open.
Yeah, I'm quite the opposite.
But, one time I didn't have my door closed, and I still had a sleep paralysis problem, was, whenever my mom came in during a sleep paralysis thing.
Oh, yeah.
My mom came into my room during sleep paralysis, and because she came in, there was no monster. She was technically considered the monster of my sleep paralysis. And so I was able to like kind of sit up, but I couldn't like talk or anything. And I was like getting scared on the inside as she kept coming closer, because I think she was just trying to step up and check on me, but she wasn't saying anything. She was just getting closer. I don't even know if she realized I was awake.
Yeah.
Until I slapped her on the face, because she kept getting closer. She got like right next to me. Slapped my mom in the... was like, hey, what are you doing in here? And like started pushing her face away. And then I snapped to my senses, and she finally said something. Or maybe she was saying something and I couldn't hear her because of the sleep paralysis.
Couldn't understand it.
But she finally said something coherent, and I was like, oh, sorry, you're actually... And I was like, don't do that! She didn't do it ever again, thankfully. But I was like, don't do that. Scared the shit.
So I don't feel like getting smacked no more.
Scared the crap out of me. And yeah, so that was a funny one. I smacked my mom in that. She didn't hit me back or anything. She was just like, what the heck, dude? I was like, what?
Dude, bro, it's tough. What the heck, man?
I was having problems. And then the other story I have, whenever I was really, when I used to be religious, when I used to be forced into religion, we learned this prayer in this church we went to. And it was supposed to summon an angel or Jesus into your room, or I forget which one. And so one night, me and my sister, me and my two sisters, their sister was God, was emo at the time. She's going through her emo phase. I don't believe in that. We all don't believe in it now, but like, so me and my sister did the prayer. She left the room. I left the room after her because I was too scared. I was like, I don't want something to come in here while I'm alone. And we went to the living room. There we go. We went to the living room just to kind of hide out. or listening to like I Kissed a Girl or whatever. My sister was listening to that. Oh, that was a song by Katy Perry.
Yeah.
And then we looked back towards our room, and we swear we saw something that looked like Jesus or something. It was like this holy light coming from our hallway, walking into our room. And we, like, something. Don't know how to explain that one. Don't believe it was real. But it was something. I don't even what it looks like. I just know that this is something that actually happened, because I remember that night as vividly. But it was just this light, and there was no light in the hall. It didn't make sense for it to actually be walking through, you know? So yeah, this thing started walking towards our room, and we were just like, nice. We waited for a few hours to go by. We were like, okay, we're not going in there anytime soon. And then we finally went in there. When she went in, I went after her, because I was like, ain't no way in hell I'm going in there alone. And so we went in there, we went to bed, just fine. It's freaky though, it's weird. Don't understand it, but it happened. And I also remember whenever I went to bed, this is just more like me being a child. Anytime I went to bed, whenever I was young, if I didn't get tucked in, we had a problem. Me and my mom, we had a problem. So I started screaming and crying in my room, going, "Mom, tuck me in!" And then sooner or later, she'd hear it, come into my room, and tuck me in. And I'd sleep like a rock.
You know.
And half the time she was asleep already, so I was waking her up, going, "Mom!"
Okay. Night.
It was funny though. I feel bad for her at that time. That time I feel bad for her having to deal with my
It's like, man,
me
that's
as
tough.
being a little.
You know, one time, I don't even know why, but I was so scared of the dark, right? I don't even know why. Like, nothing even happened to make me scared of the dark. I was just scared of the
I
dark.
know. You're just scared of the dark.
And-
Partly horror.
I woke up, and I really had to pee, man. So I made it through the kitchen, into the hallway, right to the bathroom door, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was too scared to open the door. I peed behind the door, man. I don't even know.
Okay, I feel that one.
It's
Oh.
like I never would know, dude.
Boy. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's really not, but alright.
Speaking of which, I farted ass first on my sister's face once. When I was a kid, and this one time, I thought it'd be funny. I would run around in my underwear when I was a kid until until I grew a pair, and my mom was like, "Okay, you need to start wearing pants around the house." I was like, "Okay, that's fair." Because like my sisters would have like a lot of girl friends over. And my mom was just like, "Okay, you need." But whenever I used to run around in my
like, bro.
underwear, one time my sister was. I was on the ground. I don't know why I thought to do this. But yeet. Pulled it back up and started running. Oh, so mad. I was so mad.
I wonder why.
I don't blame her. Oh, that was so fucking funny though.
I'm like trying to be quiet, but like you're just making me laugh through the things that you're saying.
Because I think I heard from one of my friends too that if you fart directly on someone, you can give them pink eye. And I think that was what my goal was. I'm gonna get a pink eye. I'm gonna get a pink eye. Let's get him. Oh my god. It was good though. It was funny at the time.
What are you doing?
My parents laughed when they got told. They didn't even punish me. They just started laughing. I mean, would you not? If my kid came up to me and said, I farted on sister, I'd be like, what? I'd be like, I'd give him a little high five, give him a little dap up, and be like, yeah, the boy. Yeah. Oh yeah, I just love your dad. Like, come on, that shit's hilarious.
My eyes are watering.
Oh my god. Have you been keeping track of viewers, by the way? Have we actually had anybody in that kind of way?
No.
Wait,
I doubt
what?
it.
Wait, what?
Have you been keeping track of viewers or anything?
No.
Nah, it still says 0.
Maybe someone came in right
Yeah, I'm
now.
not.
Oh well.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm having
We have
fun
0
telling
views in
stories.
total, so there's nothing.
I'm having fun telling stories though in this little
Yeah,
box
I mean,
that we made.
It's chill.
This is actually a really nice place to chat.
I like the music.
Yeah.
Jason, I know
I
you're
might-
still growing up, but you got anything?
Not really.
Okay.
What's the most embarrassing story you got, Brett?
Brett, tell every ghost story that you have.
I just asked him a question.
Yeah, go ahead and repeat your stories. Might as well. I repeated mine.
Which one do I start with?
Sleep
Ghost
paralysis.
orb. Yeah, sleep, ghost orb, Tokyo, Joplin thing.
Oh yeah, and Uncle Sean one.
I thought
Yeah.
you were about to say Tokyo Drift.
I said Tokyo, Tulsa, and then Joplin.
Brett.
So ghost orb, Joplin. Tell those while I'm thinking
Brett.
about what's embarrassing.
Well, Joplin happened first.
Brett.
The go Joplin.
Okay,
What?
tell the Uncle Sean one.
Oh yeah, tell all three of those in whatever order you want.
I guess I'll start with that one.
And I'm gonna take another shot and think of a more embarrassing story.
Nice. I already said my most embarrassing one because that was kind of it.
What, the peeing on the front of the
Yeah. Hey man, it's kind of wacky, man.
He's just like floating away.
Yeah, I know. He's going nuts. I don't like repeating stories.
Sooner or later we'll get views, but like when they're not a live stream.
Well, maybe we shouldn't even repeat them until we actually have viewers.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's true, but people also
We all
watch.
know the stories already, all 3 of them.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's fair.
oh, those are not frozen, by the way.
And he's about to fall. Look at him go. It looked like he was stumbling around. He's now hiding behind the chair. Don't mind him. Your hands are going everywhere.
Hey man, don't worry about it.
Brett, I swear I'll get copyrighted for this music.
Story. Ooh,
Oh, I thought the music was done.
So did I.
it loops.
It should be moved, yeah.
Yeah,
I have, this is really calming music. Like, I love this. I love this. I
Right.
love this environment.
this is a good
I
podcast
always wanted
room.
a
feel like you can
podcast
talk.
room, and I know I'm never going to get one in real life. So.
I mean, I'm okay with this. Just have a good chair.
Yeah.
I have a good chair right now.
Well,
There's no reason not to.
really nice. Though. Especially this.
Okay. So,
I
Brett,
like the neon. I don't like the thing.
The pink fit, but I like the animal.
Yeah, I like the neon.
Oh shit.
I don't like the picture.
While I'm thinking of my most embarrassing, I'm gonna add something to the room real quick.
What are you putting?
Don't worry.
What, Jason?
What is he putting?
It's just a simple little thing.
I know, I can barely hear you.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my god. That helps things.
Okay, where are we putting it? Put it like
Do it
sideways.
slanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
There we go.
And then you need something on this side. Ah, I'm back. And then you need
Nah,
something on
it's
this
alright. We
side.
have a lot of space over here, that's why. We're taking
Oh, we do, actually. It's actually, yeah. That worked. What's the first video game you remember playing?
Black Ops 2.
Oh, yes. I remember exactly
Really?
what games for that.
No, it was Halo. Halo. On the Xbox
I was gonna say,
360.
Black Ops 2 is pretty late in.
Well, no. It was Mario. The very first Mario.
The
I
first
think the first game I can remember.
We played it on the... Oh, we played it
Either
on...
Guitar Hero or Star Wars Battlefront 2. On PlayStation 2.
I played... Wait,
I
I
remember my
need to
brother
get more
teaching me how to quickscope on that.
situated
I
here.
played that one, but that wasn't actually the first game I played. So the first video game I ever played was
That's the first one I remember.
Pokemon Fire Red on Game
Oh
Boy.
my, this is really hard to
I
get.
played
With.
those, yeah. I
That
forgot
was
about
the
them.
very first video game I ever played. Was Pokemon.
Did you ever go to Walmart with like your parents and stuff?
No, I didn't actually start asking for video games until much later in my life. But I would play my sister's video games all the time.
Well, what I was saying is, like, actually going to Walmart and stuff like that, and then I would always sit in my mom's shopping cart with a little Game Boy.
Oh,
Oh,
of
the
course.
Game
Pokemon
Boy.
games.
Of course I would. I would
Do you
just sit in
remember
the
those
shopping
little
cart without
smiley
the Game
face
Boy.
stickers that you had to have?
They still have those. We don't have them.
That's still on my Game Boy.
Really?
I never took it off.
I remember going to Target for the first time when I was a kid, because I've always went to Walmart my whole life. But then I went to
Yeah.
Target the first time, and I thought it was the craziest shit. Like, whoa, we're in a whole different place. Where are we?
Have you ever went
Whoa.
to
Red
Sam's
Target.
Club?
Sam's
Yes.
Club, yeah. When I was
It's
a
so
kid,
different.
when I went to Sam's Club as a kid, it blew my mind. I was like,
Right.
what? Things get it get double me. This is a box
Right?
of cereal and it's twice my size. Oh my god. Great.
Yeah.
Now I go to Sam's
Man.
Club and I'm still like, wow, this store is literally the most useful thing ever. Why do we not have more of
Right?
these?
What we gotta do is we gotta buy a lot of the really big, like the really big cereal boxes.
Yeah.
And make a gigantic fort.
Yes, sir. I agree with that one.
Did you ever go
All
to
in
Walmart?
favor say
and
aye.
then buy
My hand's gonna be sideways, but I.
Very nice.
There we go.
Did you ever go to Walmart and go into like the pillows and stuff and then start building forts and get yelled at for it?
Yes. No, have you,
No, I
have
didn't
you,
do that
wait,
one.
Brett,
I would hide
Brett,
in the water casings.
both of the
Every time we
Bretts.
shop for clothes, I'd hide in the clothes racks.
Oh, yes, I have done that. I actually had, like, security called to try to find me because I was sitting in one. It was all the way in Illinois, too. It was a long time ago. Have you ever, like, went into,
I
like,
started getting into gaming.
hey,
Oh, continue.
I'm trying to speak here.
We all just thought of something to talk about.
Have you ever
Finish your
been, like,
story.
in the back of, like, when the water bottle place? Like, in the back of there?
Yeah.
Have you ever,
Those
like,
are the fort areas,
have
too.
you ever, like, like, and the, toilet paper in, like, those places?
Yep.
And have you ever, like, when they were set up the perfect way to be built like a
Yeah,
throne?
like you're already emptied out.
Yeah. And, like, they're already built up to make it look like a throne, pretty much. I would always sit there and just, like, I'm the king now.
You always gotta grab a pillow off the shelf and bring it in there.
And then just leave it behind and then leave.
Yeah, somebody else will find it and chill.
Okay, go.
I remember, so one of my favorite video games of all time, because I have a lot of fond memories of it, and I still love that game today. It's still a great game even now. Was Super Mario Galaxy.
Which one is that?
Especially Super Mario Galaxy 2 as well. It's the space one where you jump around and you like orbit shit and all that.
I don't remember. I remember
It
a
was
Mario
on the
game on
Wii,
the
though.
DS.
So when I got into gaming, my first actual console was a PlayStation 2, but it wasn't technically mine. So my first real console that was mine was the Wii. Love the Wii. Best console ever made. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be
The
honest.
Wii's pretty nice.
Um,
It was ahead of its time.
It really was. It really was ahead of its time. Wii Sports, so fun. Wii Party,
Oh, yeah.
so fun. Every game on the Wii that I ever played, so fun. Except for one.
You ever
game.
played Call
I
of
don't
Duty
remember
on the
name
Wii?
of it. That was shit. Fuck that. That was terrible. But Mario Galaxy, I remember before Mario Galaxy 2 came out, they had a demo in Walmart, actually. Whenever they still did console demos in Walmart.
Yeah, you could play them there. I remember them.
Where you could play them. And oh my gosh, I thought it was so fun. I was like, okay, Mom, we have to get this when I come out. It's actually not my most favorite, it's in my top favorite. My actual favorite video game of all time is a different one, and I'll get into that one later, because that one changed my life. But Mario Galaxy 2, got that, I was playing it for hours. I just remember so many fond memories of it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like that childhood thing where just, you could go on and on playing that for hours and hours.
Right.
If you were to play it now, you might actually cry just because it's like, oh my gosh, that soundtrack. I remember that. Oh, this level, I hated this, but now I love it. I was here for so long. I'll go to my actual other favorite game, but I'll let anybody else who needs to say anything first, because I need to plug in my headset while I'm sitting here. So if you have anything else to say right now, go for it.
Nope, don't really got any.
What was your favorite childhood game like that? Right, go into that.
The one that I remember the most would be Yoshi's Island.
Yes, sir.
I remember being stuck on a couple of them levels. If I still had my DS with having a working topping screen, I'd still play. You are breaking my entire VR. What is happening?
About that, man. Don't worry about that.
I remember playing Yoshi's Island though. That's the one. That's the game I remember playing the most on the DS. Did you ever go, whenever you went into Walmart or something and just ask to go to the game aisle so you could play all those, right?
I would just go. My mom just knew that's where I was going.
Yeah. And my brother would always say, hey, can we go over there? And we just sit there the entire time. That or we would run around with all the extra little balls that were sitting out in those little things, and we just throw them at each other.
You know, I'd just be like, Mom, I'm going to the game aisle. She'd be like, okay, I'll come get you whenever you're ready. I'd be like, okay. Peace
I
out.
bet. You do you, man.
I want to look at all the new games, man. They were all cool.
I remember the first iPod, or I didn't even get an iPod. I don't remember. I think the first one I had was a Samsung. I remember sitting in McDonald's. Yeah. The first game system that I had would be a phone. I don't even think that you call it a system, so never mind, it doesn't matter. But we would literally just sit at Walmart for as long as possible saying, come on, Mom, you gotta let us download this last game.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have internet. And you just sit there and sit there and sit there.
Come on, Mom.
And the
I remember
McDonald's
the
Wi-Fi
internet
was
life.
non-existent.
I remember the no internet life too. I actually had a point at that one time, and it was honestly not even the worst part of my life.
Right?
I actually really enjoyed that part of my life.
Yep.
So how it went for me was, it was actually whenever I was starting to get really into anime. Whenever I was watching all the anime that I love even today, like the best ones that I've ever seen. And I would go over to my aunt's house or whatever. We'd go there all the time. And she'd have Wi-Fi, and I would always just sit there. And I also played the best mobile game I ever played in my life, too. And I'm so sad that it's not on the App Store anymore, because it's only in Japan. Because it didn't do well in America. And it was called Monster Strike. It was great. It was sort of like a pinball type game where you would take your finger, you do this with it, and then you let it go, and it would go bing, 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 and you'd like try and kill monsters on the arena with it. It was so cool though, because like the characters looked amazing, like the character art and everything, thick. But that was my favorite mobile game. But I would also watch a lot of anime there too, like a lot of others. Devil's a Part-Timer, Chunibyo. I'd watch a little bit of Fairy Tail at that time. I'd watch a lot more too, but I don't remember the list. I'd have to look at my list to see what all was in that like span of time. But it was such a good time. Except when I went home and I didn't have internet, and I'd be like, well.
Right. Well,
when I started making my SoundCloud playlist too, my playlists go all the way back to 6th grade.
Me and my brother found SnapTube. I don't know if you know what that is. You could download any YouTube video. Literally just pirating. But that was the only way to watch anything at home. So you just download a whole bunch of stuff on that.
Yeah.
And download
all
music
of
on
6th
that.
grade
Anything.
and a half of 7th grade, I had no internet, so I had to deal with that all through that. But I would also have my own little method. So how I would do SoundCloud is I would preload my entire playlist and close out the application. So that way, when I got on the bus the next morning and after, I could go through the whole playlist because it was already, loaded. Because you couldn't download things in SoundCloud yet. That wasn't until much, much later. So that's how I would do it. Same with YouTube videos. I would preload them because YouTube Red was...
Right.
I think at this time, though, I also had a iPhone 4, so I had service as well. And I was able to watch it whenever I had one bar in my room. But I remember
the first iPhone I ever got was an iPhone 3, and it was the first phone I ever had.
I remember that phone.
I had an iPhone 4. That was the first phone I ever had, too.
I remember how it
Grandma
died.
gave it to me for Christmas, I believe. So, the day that I got it, right, it was for Christmas, and we were at my house. Were you there, Jason?
No.
You're probably too young to remember, anyways.
Yeah. But I remember how that phone died, though. That's when He didn't jump in a pool with it in his pocket or anything.
It's fine. I did that with Chase's charger board, too. It was for a new phone. That was the best part. But the second that I got that phone, she told me what the password was. I immediately went and changed the password and forgot it. So I was locked out of it for the next couple weeks.
Bruh.
Big brain, bro. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make my password this. And it was like, oh, wait. What was password?
I still have my original iPod. Like, the original iPod I had is sitting
My
in
brother
my
has that.
drawer. But I can't remember the password to it.
Yeah, the first iPhone
I
that
don't
I
know
have,
how
if
to
you
get
plug it
into
in,
it
it still
without-
works. And I don't know the
I don't know
password.
how to
It still
get
has
into it.
the favorite mobile game that I ever played, which was Infinity Blade.
I don't know how to get into it, though, because you have to reset it to get into it with the password on.
Yep.
And I don't want to reset it. I want to see what all I had when I was a kid.
Right.
So yeah, it's just sitting there, and I'm just like, damn, if only I knew what the password is. I have a few ideas, but I might have them wrong, and I'm like, well, how do I know what letters I forgot?
Right.
Because I know how to
That's the
spell
thing
it,
I
right?
But yeah, I broke that phone, by jumping in a swimming pool at my brother's birthday party.
Whack.
I've done a lot of stuff like that. Literally, I was messing with Chase in the car. We were on the way to the Y, and I kept his phone charger cord in my side pocket.
I remember
It was
another time that we
brand new phone.
So this is when I first got really into Terraria. Back in when Terraria Mobile was just like Okrom and the mechanical bosses and all that, like base, Terraria. I think I was in like 7th grade for this. My grandpa was in the hospital a lot, my step-grandpa. And he was in the Joplin hospital, actually. This is where we went before the tornado. But he was in the hospital. We actually stayed like 3 or 4 days at the hospital because they were about to pull his life support. Pretty much. They were about to, let him go. I didn't know what was going on at the time. I was busy enjoying. I
have a similar story, but instead of Terraria, it was one of the wheel games, casino games, slot machines.
But yeah, I was
on my grandma's iPad. I had just sitting in the chair.
But it was my mom's iPad technically. But yeah. I would always have it. She never had the iPad. I would play on it.
Not allowed.
Though, and I'd play Terraria on it. I beat Terraria all the way through on that iPad. And this is also when I started getting into dubstep because I found Monster Cat podcasts when those were a thing. When Monster Cat was doing podcasts to release their dubstep and stuff, I would have that too. And I was really getting into this is whenever who I am, the shit I started building. Was all around this time, except for one thing, which is my favorite game of all time, but that was when I was in my old neighborhood. Like I said, I'll get into that in a bit, because that's going to be a long, me ranting, me going on and on about that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I stayed the night in this hospital a few times, and I was just like, okay, playing Terraria, all that, listening to dubstep, and it was amazing. It was whenever I was starting to figure stuff out. Then I dropped the fucking iPad when going to the vending machine one time, and the iPad. Then I could no longer play on the iPad. Thankfully, it was the last day we were there.
Yeah.
Before they made the decision. But, come on, why did I break that fucking iPad?
Right.
Because that iPad was the one I would watch anime on and play Monster Strike on whenever I was over at my whoever's house. So this last hospital day was the last day I ever had that iPad. So this is all all in the same amount of time. If you can kind of imagine. It was whack though. It was hella whack.
Tell us about your old dog, Brett. Brett, tell us about your old dog. 'Cause why not?
Which one?
How many?
Princess?
Huh?
Princess?
I think so. I don't remember.
The dog that liked to lay in the dryer?
I think so. Yeah.
Guys,
Should have
I'm
a
not
part
sober.
more.
Just a heads up.
Huh?
I'm not sober. Just a heads up.
I don't ever feel like I am.
Brett, okay. We were trying to talk about what happened to Uncle Sean, but we just skipped over and he started talking. Then
We've already talked about that. I thought we already...
No, we didn't. We didn't even say anything about it.
Well, we've already talked about that story between the three of us.
You want me to drop that rant? This would be a long story if I do.
He's over here just spinning.
Think about your most embarrassing story, Brett?
I did, but I couldn't think of one. I always got one appropriate.
I think that's my worst one, was peeing behind the door.
I remember when I was we would watch Demon House.
There's ghosts through that door. I ain't going in.
I remember when we was watching Demon House. You know that a show from the Ghost Adventures made. You know them. You know that. It's It was like a long time ago. It was like I was like 9 when I watched it. And then I was always scared to open a door and see a big goat man staring at me. Just looking straight up, and then just him just staring right back down, and was like,
I just had some crazy thoughts.
yep. So when I was in your room and I had to go to the bathroom, I went over to that door, to the bathroom door, and I was like, put my hand on the doorknob, took it off, walked straight back to your room. Just gonna hold it in.
Yep. My most embarrassing story, but I don't think it's appropriate for this Thursday.
I think so.
Oh,
I mean, I can tell it, but I don't think it's appropriate for it.
we can move on.
Yeah.
I mean, I can give just a basic summary.
Will it be bad?
Me and a girl, Dad walked in. That's all you get.
Nice.
There you go. There's my most embarrassing story.
I have a story.
That's it. That's all I'll say.
I have a story about Ryan. It's pretty funny, but I'm not going to go into it. It was pretty funny.
Now I forgot the story that I was gonna tell. It was in reading, I remember that.
I remember being forced to read Goosebumps because I wouldn't read anything else.
Oh yeah, I remember you having to like read like those mystery books or whatever they were called. I forgot.
Clue?
Yeah, Clue.
Remember them too.
Yeah, I was over there in
That's what I'm talking about.
whenever you're trying to speak here.
I don't know.
I was in like I was sitting on the bunk bed, probably like playing Black Ops 2 on the old TV, then looking over, just watching you just start reading away, and he's like, and then it was also Titanic you had to read too. I think.
The one book series I actually remember reading is Diary of the Wimpy Kid.
And how did you remember Clue?
Clue?
Okay, so I was talking about this anime, right? And then you know Kami J Killer, right? Or however you say it. You know that huh?
What?
You know that that anime is called Akame J Kill? I don't remember.
A comic got killed?
Akame got killed. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Same thing. So I was thinking about that, and you know one of the guys, he has a thread that cannot be cut, right?
Mhm.
You know the girl has scissors that can cut through anything, right?
Mhm.
So what happens with the scissors trying to cut the thread?
The one, she's dead.
Huh?
In the first few chapters.
Wait, what? What did you say?
I said we would never know because she died in the first few chapters.
Yep. Yeah, but you're not.
She was the first character to die, so we'll never know.
Yep, she was. Then everybody else died besides 2. No, besides 1.
Did you ever read the manga?
No.
He doesn't
It's
read.
great.
I don't read.
It's completely different ending than what the anime is. It's a completely different story after the first half.
They should make a like the new like a season 2 of like the samurai girl. I don't remember her name. Just like starting up the assassination like thing again. Like starting a new
Did I ever
team.
tell you about the school party?
Oh, where you sit in the back and then just like drank all the lemonade.
No, I did that in normal school.
You did not tell me about that.
So it was me and Adrian and Isaac and Chase, I believe. And I wasn't allowed to drink Mountain Dew or anything. myself with my hand. Nice.
Nice.
But it was me, Chase, Adrian, and Isaac, I believe. And I wasn't allowed to drink pop. So I just literally drank practically the entire thing of Mountain Dew. Like, I'm talking maybe I had 30, 40, 50 cans. That's a lot of pee, man.
Yeah, that's a lot of pee.
Yeah. It ended up being a challenge of how much can I drink.
What is he even making now?
I don't know.
Nice.
Does that need
It's getting
a
covered
cow?
by the vodka.
Did you run out? Oh, nice.
I just made a Glock.
But me
Oh wait, we could play Russian roulette
and Ryan
later.
drank all of the lemonade. Because we had a lunch, right? And everybody would always rush to get the lemonade. It wasn't even good. I believe it was 20 cups. And I practically drained the entire thing. Because there would never be any if you had sea lunch. The goal was to just drain it so nobody else can have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
I get
we went back to class after lunch, right? And I had to pee every 30 seconds. Because I drank practically the entire container. And the teacher said, "You're really just trying to skip class, huh?" I said, "No, I drank about 30 cups of lemonade and I had to pee." She's like, "Alright. I understand now. It's fine."
What is he?
I don't know.
Yeah, continue.
He's poking me for
I'm
some
trying to
reason.
make something.
He's like,
We're done.
it's right there.
I don't know. Got a knife. Hey, can I have that? Throw it at me.
It works
What's?
too.
Oh, it's a dart. Oh,
Where
Well,
did
I
that
get
go?
stuck in the wall, kid.
it's gone.
Yeah, don't put
I'm not
something
even
in.
in my
Just
chair
doing
anymore.
stuff because I'm drunk. There we go.
Okay, so any more stories before I end the podcast?
Yes. Oh, probably not.
I mean, I have my
Favorite video game of all time story. I don't
Go
know
over,
where it went,
go
but
over
I
to
do
your
know-
chair.
Is it in your chair?
No, it went through the wall.
It looked like it went up here.
Okay. One more thing.
I think it went into the wall.
So, my favorite video game of all
Where did Brett? Wait one sec. We need Brett.
I want to tell you guys. Whenever Brett gets back in his chair.
Trying. Hang on, it's not letting me go down because my bed is in the way.
Or I'll summon
Here
him
I'm coming.
Brett.
I'm coming. My bed's in the way, I... Oh god. Where am I?
So my favorite video game of all time is, well, the Persona series, but specifically Persona 4 Golden. This game changed my life. I recommend each and every one of you play it. Right now, the only way you can play it, though, is either a PC or... I have it on both, but... I actually have a PlayStation Vita, believe it or not. But that's the only two ways to play it. So Brett, when you get a PC, definitely buy Persona 4 Gold. I believe it's only like $20. Greatest game, one of the greatest games of all time, in my opinion. Though, I loved every bit of it. It changed so much in my life. Like when I was in the fourth grade, was this when I started really getting into YouTube a lot? Because after this, I would always watch YouTube. like people like Venturian Tale and all that. I don't know if you remember who Venturian Tale is, but they were Gmod YouTubers. Do you know who Venturian Tale is, Jason?
I'm pretty sure.
They're Gary's Mod YouTubers. They would
Yeah,
only do
I
Gary's
watch
Mod
people who
and all
played
that.
Gary's Mod a lot.
Their intro was also, like, I have that stuck in my head for life now.
It was like,
But,
wait 1 sec. Did one of their friends were like Tony or something? I remember someone named Tony.
It was Bethany Fry, Isaac Fry, Ethan Fry, I believe, and Jessica Fry.
Did
like
they
a
did they
family
do
of four
one
people.
episode where they did like the purple guy from Five Nights at Freddy's? It was like a duck.
I do not know.
Because I remember watching a guy named Tony.
I stopped watching them, actually.
I just like stopped watching them after a while ago, and I just can never find his channel ever again. It was on my own old phone.
Look at that.
I don't know who I'm looking for. If you ever, like, you don't need to, like, watch them, because, I mean, they were meant for kids. You probably won't enjoy them.
They weren't, the guy, it wasn't meant for like a kindergartner, like how old I was, to be watching.
It probably wasn't that guy then. They were meant for like 13-year-olds or younger.
They were meant for like 15-year-olds. Like they would cuss a lot.
We might be talking about different things. We'll come up with those later. But yeah. So but this one I watched a dude named Super Genius. Super Genius is by far my favorite YouTuber ever. I'm sad that he's not a YouTuber anymore as of like 2017. But he made up a lot of my childhood. He played through all of Persona 4 Golden in like 100 something episodes, and I watched every single one of them. I didn't play Persona 4 Golden until I was actually a junior in high school, like right about to be a senior, because that's when I got a PlayStation Vita to actually play it. Because it only got released on Steam recently in 2019, I believe, maybe 2020. But it was only on PlayStation Vita before then. And I remember playing it, and it was just as great as whenever I watched it originally. But I watched it whenever I was in 4th grade, and I loved it so much. It was such a great game. And he was such a great YouTuber, too. So he doesn't, but a person he played with once is still a YouTuber, and I watch him, and his name is Proton John. Don't know if you know who they are. But yeah, so Persona 4 is just a game. I recommend both of you play it. If you ever get a PC, Jason, definitely play it. Brett, whenever
I
you get a
have
PC
one,
that can
but it's
actually
really
copy
old.
shit, or hell, even the PC you have currently is enough to play it, because it is a PlayStation Vita game with better graphics, pretty much. They just revamped the graphics. They just
Brett.
But it's really just a port.
My PC
stepped
can't
on
even.
my computer.
Huh? What?
You stepped on my computer.
Oh yeah, I did. It was under a
That's why I don't
blanket.
have a screen.
It was under a blanket, so like. But my
You'll pay
PC,
$3,000.
What?
My-
What?
my PC, it's a Windows 7 PC, and it can barely even load Roblox.
Well, when you get a better PC, play Persona 4 Gold. Brett, when you get a better PC, or you can play it on your PC if you can get it to work, play Persona 4 Gold.
Okay, but Other Brett,
Yeah,
I
that's what
have
I'm
a
saying.
story to
Play
tell about.
Persona 4 Gold if you feel like.
I have a story about that PC.
This second.
I'm broke.
But it's only $20. Well, you don't need to do it now. Just at some point in your life, play
yeah.
Persona 4. It is a great game. It is a life-changing experience, and I love it with so much passion. Even more than Dark Souls, even more than Bloodborne. Like, Persona is by far my favorite series. There is Persona 5 Royale, which you can play, It is a part of the Persona series, so if you want to even see what the game is like, you can play Persona 5 or Persona 5 Royale. I recommend Persona 5 Royale, and that is on PlayStation 4. So if you guys want to play that one, you can. But I recommend most definitely play Persona 4 Golden at some point in your life. It is a great game, and it has a great story, and has great characters. Now you can tell your story.
Okay, so I just wanted to like download Fortnite on that PC for some reason. I downloaded the installer, and like it was like at 12 in the morning. I was told to go to bed, and then next time I was like got on there, I was trying to move the mouse to go down to the password. It wouldn't even move. The installer destroyed the RAM for it. It was just wouldn't even move it. So it took like 30 minutes to even get the mouse to work again. Oh, Brett, remember when Fortnite was actually a good game? Brett. All the Bretts.
Let him get it.
Both of the Bretts. That Brett right there. You. Remember when Fortnite was actually good in season 3? I was playing on the PC because I was playing on the your computer, not PC. We got killed by Ninja, and you threw a porta fort in a building. And remember that?
I still don't remember you being there.
No, I was there. I was there on the bunk bed. And then after that we got a victory royale. After that game we got a victory royale because we got bopped by him. No, you guys got bopped by him. I was already dead by another guy because we landed in Tilted. Oh, Brett.
I remember when I used to play Fortnite. Fortnite was a cool game before they changed the map.
Brett.
They literally changed everything that everybody liked. It was dumb. They ruined it very quickly.
Fortnite. I played all the time. I played with you a few times, honestly.
And like the same time when me, you, and David were playing, and nobody landed at Tilted one game that we were playing. Because we were trying to get a victory royale. And I spammed, and when we got the victory royale, I was over there spamming with a grenade launcher. Just like going all out. We're gonna destroy them. And then that's when we got it. That's how good we were.
I wish I could play on my own games.
Stop, bruh. I had to put my hand in front of it.
You never accepted my friend request.
I know because oh my god.
This help?
Hell yeah.
I'm going to like.
I think we played once though. At least the one time you played Fortnite. Because I know me
I don't
and
think
you
we
have
did.
had often. I think we did.
What?
Because I know me and you have had on and off gaming sessions. Like me and you used to play on and off. It would be like months of time in between. I think starting recently is the first time we've actually
Okay, Brett.
seriously playing together.
After your next story, I'm going to end this.
Okay. But you can go ahead and do it if you want to. We'll say goodbye real quick. Just let us know.
I'm gonna end it right now.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for listening to the Brett's podcast. Anybody who actually
Zero people that watched.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we might have gotten an audience. Yeah. See you guys later.
We're just
We'll
chilling.
probably do this again sooner or later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, right.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
I'm waving.
What? Oh.
You're good.
Okay.
Go ahead and name this